And a peace of mind, which is priceless.
Peace of mind, girl.
And time, which is priceless.
I was so thankful. And do you know what my child said when I told her that we weren't going back?
What?
Yes.
Oh.
I've been praying for something to happen.
Oh, bless her heart.
And I was looking, and I didn't get mad at her because she was doing it she thought she was doing it to please us because we didn't let her quit last year when she hit the difficult time, so she wasn't even going there.
So she was just going to do it.
She was like, I fake it till I make it, child.
Well, that's a life lesson too.
Yeah, because we don't want to raise quitters.
Right.
But at the same time, I felt okay as a mama making that decision, not making her go back. She hadn't asked to go back not one time. So I feel like that was the best decision. And from a mama's perspective, already being pushed a lot, I'm thankful that we're not there. Like I was actually to tears after she had sent those harassing text messages. And
it was disgusting. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was here to witness it all and coach her through the response. Because I'm a big fan of just hitting them with a thumbs up and okay, thank you.
She did.
And then leave you feeling stupid.
I want to be ugly, though.
No, you can't be ugly. You just have to say, great, congratulations, you have not earned my business no more. Like that. That's the worst insult that you can do is just walk away. Because she's waiting for that check every week.
She is. So I'm just...
And the years after that you could have, invested with your other daughter. Like there's
because baby girl was already prepared in her mind to go ahead and go into it, but...
And word of mouth. So she don't know how connected you are, and you are very connected. So you can just say, I wouldn't recommend that dance studio. There's plenty of other dance studios that maybe would be better. And she signed up for that by sending those kind of texts to you. Like,
it was...
and you want to support, but...
I can't handle the amount of money that we're paying month to month to be treated like
the text was literally like you were nobody who had never paid any bill.
Right,
she acted like you were delinquent on a bill. And you weren't. So anyways, I was insulted. You were insulted, and I'm glad y'all decided not to go back there.
I was so thankful that because I'm telling you, the next morning I was like, oh Lord, my husband's going to make me and Ansley keep doing it. And he literally was like, we're done. When I told him how she had treated me from asking a simple question such as, when is the recital anyway? Because we haven't gotten any notifications. Like, she couldn't even answer that.
You weren't on this group text. Whatever, girl.
So, I guess...
Okay, sis.
I guess that's my whole idea about extracurriculars and momming so hard. Because we mom so hard.
Mom so hard.
I'm so hard. So, we mom so hard. So, the extra, I have to be very conscientious about what I involve us in, because it really is an us thing.
And to play devil's advocate, I throughout volleyball was always considered a late bloomer. So I have in the back of my daughter definitely won't be a late bloomer. She's starting at 9, which is kind of early for volleyball. But I didn't start till middle school, and I didn't start really competitively until high school, like doing club, and that was like sophomore year, later than everyone else. So I wouldn't want my daughter to fall in love with a sport and then be considered a late bloomer. Yeah, I got a full ride. I probably could have gone to a higher, bigger school, which I didn't. In retrospect, it doesn't matter. It worked out fine. Got a full ride, so that was fine. But even still, I was still progressing to greatness in college. Yeah, when everyone else had already had all the skills and could go even further. So I don't want my kid to be set up so that they're behind if it's something that they really love.
Well, let me say this, the other devil's advocate. I really feel like that is absolutely the fear that has been set forth to us to feel like our kids are going to be left behind. And that's why these travel baseball teams can charge $1,500 per person. For whatever. It's
and
ridiculous.
Baseball, literally, like if you... And this is a bad thing. This is the inside point of view. If your child's been playing baseball since they've been like 5, then the scouts in the major leagues don't want you. Like,
what?
We had a pitcher who had just started pitching in college, and they chose him because he had a fresh arm. So if he'd been pitching his whole life, he would have had all kinds of like medical issues and, rotator cuff issues that he'd been banking on since he was 5.
See, that's crazy.
So this guy was brand new. So they were like, "Oh, you just started pitching? Oh, we'll sign you." Yeah, so $1 million signing right then.
That's ridiculous.
And while these people are out here, dedicating their lives to these kids getting their joints worked out, like it's not in baseball particularly, because those kids really do. They play all year round. There's no break. Medically, it's not a good sport for their bodies.
Right, I've heard that.
In soccer, also, their ACL issue. I remember I coached volleyball of a bunch of soccer players, and those girls, their ACL surgeries, because that lateral movement, I mean, not to be like a sports professional, but a lot of those soccer girls were tearing their meniscus and getting like ACL surgeries in high school. So,
a lot of our basketball players went through that as well.
But think about soccer. Layla, Missy, and Professor started soccer when they were 2 and 3. So, like, they literally have been playing. If they kept going in a competitive way, they would have been playing their whole life. So your body ain't really made for that.
A and B do tennis lessons, swim lessons,
right?
And B was doing gymnastics. I think she would really be good because she's double jointed and she's super flexible. But and call it selfish, I'm just the mama, and I'm almost, me and my husband tend to rebel against the norm. I'm just like, nope, not doing it. I'm not over committing myself. We wanted them to run track, but we found out that it's practice every single day, and then traveling to far away lands on the weekends.
Yeah.
I was like, who gonna take them to practice? Because they got to be there by 4. Guess who's not in town by 4 o'clock?
Right.
Me or my husband.
Stressful.
So it's not, it ain't even worth it.
Yeah. So we can kind of switch some gears here, because I know I had to be reminded of myself and my mental mindset during Ball is Life basketball season. And I, in retrospect, really went through a very dark time, and it happens every year. It happens every year right after January, which I feel like it happened like right after Jamaica. I just hit a wall. I hit a real dark place where I felt like depression. I felt like really strong depression, strong like what is it called? I want to feel like just not
withdrawal. Because I felt like I became a little withdrawn between February and now.
I don't know if it's withdrawal, but it's just I can tell the devil working on me about self-worth, being seen, working hard but not being recognized, and that's not even like part of me. So it was just like that was coming to me a lot of like, and I think it had to do with the fact that our family was he's here running around working. I'm here trying to figure out how to get the boy to this practice and the girl to this practice, and working really hard and not being we talked a little bit about that, but in retrospect, I was like, I was in a really, really dark place, and depression would definitely have set in with like, this life. What is this life? You know what I mean? So, and also, the prayer life of just trying to pray through it and trying to make sure that I'm not being attacked by all these things. And I was talking to Alicia about, I think it started right after, remember I had that flute, the fake flute?
Yes.
It was right then where it was like,
I remember that
attack. And I was like, do I feel crazy? And then after that, it just started a whole series of like self-talk, self-doubt, all these voices about what you're not doing, what you can't do. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. Like all of that had really set in bad.
I can see that.
And so luckily I was able to get through it through like, a lot of prayer, some meditation, but also as a result of that, I got really tired of warring.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you're fighting all of those things, like that is,
yes.
that, and I know you know all about it. One of my friends fell sick, just had like a brain issue. So warring for that, you know, and then also stuff with your sister and just everybody else. You just want to pray for everybody else. You want to pray for yourself. You want to pray for everybody else. Yes. You want to make sure that everybody's covered. And that is definitely a different type of tired.
Yeah. I've been fasting for the last 30 days, and I'm not going to lie, about 7 days ago, I was like, I can't think of another prayer. I can't think of another. I'm so concerned with my family because that was one of the reasons I was fasting, and I haven't done one this year at all. And I usually do one at the very beginning of the year. And I could tell I was a little off. So one of my friends called me out about it and was like, I was like, "Oh, girl, I ain't even done a fast this year." And she said, "And you've been a little off too." And I said, "What you talking about, Willis?" Right. No, this conversation isn't about you. We're going to stay on the topic. I was like, "It's all right. Call me out." I said, "You're right." Because I've been very off kilter. I just couldn't I told you, withdrawn. I just started feeling like, I don't want to see what anybody else is doing right now. I don't want to see. It was overstimulation. And it was just kind of like I'm so concerned with the things that my family's about to embark upon that I can't really, my brain couldn't take anything else.
Right.
So about 7 days ago, I was just like, I can't think of another thing to pray for.
Right. I think that I want to choose my words correctly, because when you talk about being a Christian, you think the Christian thing to do is make sure you're covering everybody and praying for real and not just saying you're praying for people.
Yes.
But then you get busy with doing all those things, and then it becomes busy, the whole busy thing. And it's like, oh, I got a checklist of these people I got to pray for. Write their names down, and I'm just going to have to do this and do this and do this. And it's like, I don't know if that's like your spirit telling you to do it, or just because you're checking it off the checklist.
Yeah.
The works. Yeah. And, we're going to go to heaven, regardless of if we have a long checklist of people that we pray for. It's just, so the reason behind the things is you, God knows why you're doing it and why you want to do it and all that stuff. But I think sometimes we have to give ourselves the permission to be like, okay, take a break.
Yeah. And I felt so much better. We talked a little bit about this pre-show, and I felt so much better when you said it out loud, because one of my favorite sermons by Joyce Meyer was about busy, busy. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she said, you're going to say so busy. And then God is going to be like, you did not have to do all that. So I wasn't thinking about it in respect to prayer. I was thinking just being busy trying to do the works of the Lord. Serving. All that stuff. But I mean, you made me feel better when you were like, what you learned at Holy Spirit encounter.
Yeah, and I can share that too.
It
was just like, there was a moment of prayer, because we get together and we pray a lot. It's like a weekend full of lots of prayer, some good conferences, talking and stuff like that, but there's just tons of prayer, especially if you're on the service team. And so there was a moment where the pastor that was leading the service was just like, you have been tarrying, because in Acts they talk about you go and tarry, and you just keep going and praying until the glory falls or whatever. So eventually we got to a point where it was just very still, and everything felt like it was just peace. And it was like, you had been working so hard, and to me it clicked. I was like, working hard, but not working. It wasn't like physical work. It was like spiritual work.
Yes.
That you're just mentally interceding constantly. And intercession is tiring. That is those weekends where I go and serve, I come back and I'm like, oh my goodness. You take on all of everything, and you're just really, you have to be prepared for that. And I felt like I was prepared for that weekend, but it just clicked that it hadn't just been prepped for the weekend. It had been going on for like months and months of